Hey, it's Seth with Prudent K9 Training. I wanted to put together a quick video to cover the different types of collars that we use here. The collar gives us a way to communicate with our dog, control our dog, uh, but the way that each collar uh, allows us to communicate and control our dog is slightly different. So I wanted to cover each of the collars that we use here. The first one is the standard issue collar. It is the flat buckle collar. You fit it around your dog's neck snugly, and it just provides you a means to have control of your dog. Very limited in how you communicate with your dog because it only allows you to have pressure on and off. Uh, Pressure on being pulling the leash, and that pressure is going to be applied on the opposite end, which is typically going to be the front of the dog's neck. The dog will pull right through it, so the dog will probably just injure himself. So we don't like to use this one by itself, just use it as a backup to one of the other collars that gives us finer tuned control. Um, but yeah, the flat buckle collar, yeah, just a backup to some of the other collars that we use here. The next collar is the Martingale Collar. This one's very similar to the flat buckle collar. Uh, the main difference is this sliding mechanism here. When it's engaged, it tightens up around the dog's neck. The pressure is applied similarly to the flat buckle collar, so it'll be opposite of where the leash is pulled from. So typically going to be the front of the dog's neck, and the dog will pull right through it and just going to injure your dog if he just continues to try to pull through. So this one we use as a backup as well. Typically going to be used in conjunction with the e-collar. So when we're applying pressure through the e-collar, we don't have to apply significant pressure through the Martingale collar. Same with the flat buckle. We only use these as backups to other collars that we use. The next collar is the prong collar. The prong collar looks a little scary, but it's the most effective at communicating with our dogs. The prong collar is made up of these links. Each of the links has two prongs. They are rounded tips, so they do not pierce the skin of your dog, so you don't have to worry about them hurting your dog. So this goes around your dog's neck, always under and then connect. You don't want to have this connected and then try to slide it over your dog's head. You'll poke them in the eye, you're going to damage them, and we definitely don't want to hurt your dog like that. So always under the dog's neck and then around and attach. But the way this one works is it sits snugly high on the neck. The points are sitting right on the neck, each of the prongs, and when we have to apply pressure, we apply pressure, and that pressure is, rather than sent to a single point on the opposite end of where we're applying pressure from with our leash, the pressure is distributed evenly across each of these prongs. So the pressure is evenly distributed around the dog's neck, no single point of pressure to damage the front of the dog's neck. So probably the safest collar that is available, even though it looks quite scary, but yeah, one of the safest ones just based on its design alone. It doesn't take much pressure when fit properly, very snugly, high on the neck. Slightest bit of pressure from your leash is going to send that signal to your dog, send that pressure to your dog to let them know whatever they're doing, you do not want them to do that. So pressure should be off. Generally, we don't want pressure on that often. Really, the goal is to have no pressure and just have it sitting there waiting to be used when it's needed. So the prong collar. The last collar I'm going to cover is the snap-around collar, also called the dominant dog collar. This one again sits high on the neck, just behind the jaw, and snaps around the dog's neck. And it's fit very snugly, so it does not slide down the dog's neck. Sits right behind the dog's jaw. And the idea is that when the pressure is applied up from here, the pressure is only applied upward. You never want to pull to the side. That's not the way this collar works. So you pull up, and it restricts the airflow to the dog. So it sounds terrible, but it's an excellent tool for an aggressive or reactive dog, because physically, when you're restricting the airflow to a dog that is operating at a very high level and getting ramped up, they can't go any higher than the point that they're at when you start applying pressure with the snap-around collar. It restricts that airflow, and the dog has no choice but to de-escalate. So with an aggressive dog, you'll typically find that we're going to use a dominant dog collar to maintain control of the dog, and ensure that we can bring that dog down no matter how ramped up he wants to get. So yeah, pressure up, never to the side, and it restricts that airflow. Yeah, very useful, even for non-aggressive dogs. You just vary the amount of pressure that you put on the collar. And I think that's it for the collars. Aside from the e-collar that I mentioned, I'll cover that one probably in another video. But hopefully you found this to be helpful. And again, I'm Seth with Prudent K9 Training. You can check us out at prudentk9training.com. And just thank you for watching.